like you're talking with family. Get ready to settle in. Wait for the show to begin. Invite a couple of friends. It's time for Unhinged.
I introduce to you Get You Home Towing, a family company with the sole purpose to get you home. Whether you need roadside assistance or transport services, we have a flatbed big enough to transport any vehicle to its destination. Our offer to you is our gratitude and great service at a much cheaper price. We are also open to transport through long distances. If you need us, all you have to do is call that number. I'll see you soon.
Black King, I see you. Messianic Adonis, revolutionary messenger, beautiful black leader, prince, powerful, romantic, prophetic hero, the chosen one, forced from Big Mama's womb, 400 years and running, angry since your entry from a slave trade embryo. How holy was your magnificence, how divine your historical swag, how heavy the crown snatched off your dome, victim of a stolen inheritance. Onyx be your hue, warrior, alchemist, master mason, the complete brilliance of God's great handiwork. You are Paul Lawrence Dunbar with a Tribe Called Quest in the center of your roar. Joe Lewis mixed with Jay-Z. How they've tried to Michael Vick you, hashtag your elegance, reducing your lineage to a 40 ounce and a mixtape, stealing your style and repackaging your melanin in Sambo reality show buck dancing form, but they can never carbon copy your legacy. Black King, I love you. The Cornell Wester Fight Club, dealing death blows by generational curses broken, loving your Cleopatra and dropping wisdom on your seeds like sacred rhyme skills. You are more than an athlete. You don't shut up and dribble. You speak with authority while your enemies cripple. You are founder, CEO, the alpha of all omegas, the head and not the tailspin of failure and regret. You survived being trapped between Plymouth Rock and a hard place. But Jim Crow could not break you. White supremacy will never overtake you. Police brutality cannot destroy you. The prison system will not define you. Fatherhood is not a conspiracy theory. Too many nations flow from the fruit of your loins. Your presence matters. Your marriage matters. Your children matters. Your dark skin matters. Your words, your authority matters. You, my brother, you matter. I salute you as the father of all nations. Black King, you are worthy on this day.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. You are tuned into Unhinged Live. I'm your host, Nikita Tilted Halo Hansford, and I'm sitting alongside my very good girlfriend, Karen Sims Harrell of Twisted Threads LLC. And I'm sure as you've tuned in on tonight, you've noticed that we've got a little bit of a different spin on tonight's conversation. Yeah, we are snapping it up. And Karen, I got to tell you, before I get into the rundown, you know I am such a huge fan of all things creative, especially poetry, and I know you saw me snapping it up. I absolutely feel like I was catapulted to the desert sands of Egypt with that piece you just shared from tonight's guest, and I'm looking forward to this conversation on this evening. But before we go there, Karen, of course,
Yes.
you know I have to familiarize the guests and the listeners tonight on what's going to happen on tonight's show. Of course, you're going to have, oh my gosh, I'm stuttering. You're going to be privy to an exciting conversation with our guest on tonight. We, of course, are going to get into our superfan shout out. We're going to have another musical break. get into that roundtable conversation. And girl, that piece was appropriate for what I got going on inside of my head. What's really going on? So let me rewind this back real quick and say welcome and thank you to each and every one of our replay viewers that are going to join us at a later date and time. We appreciate you. Oh my God, we absolutely do. So Karen, I got to ask you, sister girl, how you doing?
You know, I am doing all right. I'm playing, still wearing a couple of hats, but we winding down. You know, the kids are this way, but they've gone literally their own ways. Work has been doing all of the things, marriage is doing all of the things, but I had an opportunity to enjoy a worship concert with the wonderful Tim Bowman Jr. So there was a lot of Holy Ghost head rocking that was going on there. But I love it because everybody had the bling, all of the shiny things, and just genuine worship. And so I've had an opportunity to, as we always mention, as we're pouring out, we want to get the opportunity to get poured back into. So I think I'm doing pretty decent. I'm still ready to drop off a boatload of kids, and we're going to do that real soon so that I can have some real good, slow, quiet moments. Because I got to say, yeah, long term, I think I can do a couple of days, and then I need a break in between my Mimi schedule. But God is great. It's wonderful to spend time with them. You know, what we say about family, we love to see them come. We love to see them go. And there may be a little bit of time before they come back this way. I'm going to go visit them, though. I think that's how we're going to do that. Keep them in their own environment. So I'm going to flip it and just check in on you. You know, the heat has been up. We've had some warmer weather. We still going strong with our 10,000 step challenge. So I got to ask, how are you doing?
Girl, I'm doing all right, but I must tell you, sis is tired. You know, I went hard in the paint on yesterday with my steps as part of the challenge. You know, old lady problems, aka Arthur. Cousin Arthur had tried to pay a visit to me in my left knee, and I had to go down to the urgent care and talk to somebody and get a little something to help take that inflammation down. I was down and out of the challenge for 5 days. But you know, I'm a processor for a living. So you already know I had mapped out how many steps it was I actually needed to reach in 30 days. So you already know, as I've been sharing my step count, I already had steps in the bank to cover my 5-day downtime. So tomorrow's the last day of the challenge. But if you all have been paying attention and following any of us on Facebook, any of us on Instagram or TikTok, you see that we going hard in the paint, and we are not stopping after the month of June. We will have individual walking groups coming soon. We're covering many area codes and zip codes here at Unhinged Live. So look for us, looking for you in our individual areas. We're looking for you in North Carolina to come join us as we out there staying lifetime fine. We're looking for you in the Bethlehem, Pennsylvania area. Join us as we out here trying to stay lifetime fine. And check it out. We're absolutely doing our best to put Jersey on the map. So meet us over here in Warren County as we walk again to stay lifetime fine. I'm really excited. I'm seeing the results, not only physically, but I'm seeing how much of an influence we really have. So many people have approached us looking to join in the fun because, hey, it has been fun. The conversations and the laughter that have been shared on these varying walking trails. Girl, I'm excited about what the July conversations are going to bring, since we have so many more people looking forward to joining us. So I got to get into a little bit of a something, because, you know, we do our best to support every single member of our tribe, whether they're on screen or off. Listen, when you got something going on, we're going to do our best to support and uplift whatever it is. So I got to go ahead and mention our sister Angela Conley. Now, you know, we've been throwing her name around quite often here lately, and she's got an amazing campaign going on. I'm not sure if you all are familiar with her testimony, but our sister girl is actually an amputee and is actually one of the first remote workers under the employ of NASA. All right. And she's also a published author. And sis hit me up one night in conversation offline, and she let me know she's getting ready to set up at a community day event down in Maryland, Camp Springs, Maryland, to be exact, to share her journal, to make some sales. Now, she shared with me that the journal sales, the proceeds will actually go to making upgrades to the new home she's purchased with her family, to make it more wheelchair accessible. So I want to go ahead and show you again the cover of this beautiful starter journal. If you notice, it has two sides. There's a flip side to this journal. This is one of the most unique things I've ever received. No matter which way you turn this journal, there are lined pages where you can write, where you can create. And every single photo, I know you see the beautiful clouds. Miss Angela actually took those photos basically sitting from her own backyard. So listen, we're asking you all to join in to help our sister out, because we already know what the word says. Many hands make light work. And Miss Angela is always out there promoting us here at the Unhinged Live show. She's always promoting our brothers at Let's Talk Gospel and CHH Jams. So I'm gonna put this barcode up.
There you go.
You can take a little time.
And we got to clap it up for our sister Angela, because, you know, she is definitely an encourager extraordinaire. And this is just an extension of the work that we see her completing. But also, she's living this every single day. So we want to, you know, give a clap for her for all of the work that she continues to do. And so we're excited about that. We're excited about that.
Hold up. Oh, Lord, I've been talking too long. Karen, our guest is here, and you know we got this good country home training. I got to hush my mouth so we can let our guests in. But, you know, I got to do a quick super fan shout out.
Absolutely.
Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. All right, this week's super fan shout out goes to our brother Roy Shula. Okay, I got to shout out. Okay. Roy is making big moves, you know, actor, mentor, voiceover artist. Listen, my brother done debuted with the WNBA and Nike, Mr. Earl. Mr. Earl, the janitor, the cleanup man, baby. Earl, okay, excuse me, Roy. Yeah, I called you Earl because you snatched us all the way in with this campaign you got going on. We are so proud of you and so godly honored to have the opportunity to call you friend. And I see that you just recently booked yet another major project. Roy, you keep going, because we sitting back here taking notes, okay? Because we share many of the same hopes, many of the same dreams. And yes, we've been walking alongside you during your process since day one. We are so proud of you, Roy. You better keep it going, King. All right? All right? All right, speaking of kings, get ready, because I don't know where this conversation is going to go. Tonight's guest, our brother Ronald Lavender, also known as RL the Gifted One. All right, this is my first time making this brother's acquaintance, but y'all know I know how to talk to anybody, anytime, anywhere, any place. Karen sent me this beautiful bio of the king that we are going to be speaking with on tonight. He is creative. That's the best way for me to put it. And I don't want to put too much of his biz naive out there myself, because this is the purpose of why we bring our guests in. We want to give our brother the opportunity to tell the people about who he is himself. So bring him in the room, Karen. Bring him in the room.
All right. RL, excited for you to join us in our Unhinged Live table to have a great conversation. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Good afternoon to you guys. Thank you for having me.
Good stuff. So, all right, we're going to get right into it. And we'll both be asking some questions, because I know the poem that we selected, one, was powerful. So we appreciate you allowing us to share a part of you with our audience, and just the wonder that we have. And a lot of times, you know, we know that in June it is men's health and men's mental health month, but there are so many different things. You know, we just coming off of celebrating Father's Day, and we were like, we want to get a magnificent father, a role model, a person of the community. And so you joining us today is definitely checking all of those boxes and many more. So can you start at I guess the beginning for us to introduce you to our audience and telling us a little bit about yourself and where you're from?
My name is Ronald Lavender Jr. Originally born in Philadelphia, but I was raised predominantly in Brooklyn. I've been living in North Carolina for about 17 years come August. I am a mentor, actor, playwright, spoken word artist. I host events sometimes, do some acting stage, but I'm just starting to get into some independent film. So I'm not, I don't call myself a Renaissance man. I'm just a regular guy, but I do dabble in the arts somewhat in certain areas. So just regular Ron, I always call myself.
I appreciate that, you know, and I got to give kudos because, you know, RL, I was introduced to you through some mutual friends, but I've been able over the years to see you not only sharing your gifts and your talents. I love that you say you a regular guy, but you literally are gifted. I promise if you've ever been to an event that RL is hosted, you did not leave not having a good time. That's all I could say. You didn't leave not knowing his heart. And so I appreciate the way that you continue to give back to the community. And can we keep it real? Sometimes the community don't always give it right back to us, but the fact that you continue with your longevity and you are growing, you know, we shouted out our good friend Roy, and literally he started in those smaller films and now he's on main TV, and I'm seeing this for you and just the wonders of what else it is that you get to share with the world. But I'd love for us to talk a little bit about, and we're going to hit a couple of points, but if you wouldn't mind sharing with us what's inspired you to be a creative and kind of build your knowledge and influence on a creative sector as a playwright, an actor, a film artist, and poet.
Well, I was born a poet. It's the gift that was inherited. I can't say there's a particular influence. Well, other artists, I'm influenced by other creatives of their writing styles. Or hip hop is a big influence on my writing. If anybody listens to a lot of my has read a lot of my poetry, you know, it's a lot of Nas in there, a lot of Wu-Tang, a lot of Biggie in there. I like to be a storyteller. I like to craft images and paint, you know, big pictures. I love the arts. I just love us as a people in the village getting together and sharing our gifts and talents and showcasing what we can do and sharing, enjoying each other and telling stories and inspiring each other. So I guess I'm inspired by life. I'm inspired by even the negative things in life. Those things kind of can spur some things that come out of your pen as a writer. I don't know if there's like a general or specific thing that inspires. I love acting. I love the stage. I love the presentation of the arts. So just to be able to go and sit in a room with a bunch of people and hear something inspiring that will make you want to, the next time, you know, get out on stage, get out in front of a bunch of people. It's I like that. Just that something that can push you forward.
Love it, love it, love it. Tilted, I don't want to take up all the time. Are there any questions that popping up in your mind right now for our guests?
Oh, yes. You know, I love to shift gears on the conversation. And as you mentioned earlier in the conversation, Karen, it is all Men's Health Month. And RL, I understand that you are also an advocate for men's mental health in the community, and that you also operate with the Bolt mentoring program. Can you tell me a little bit about the work you do with that mentoring program and some of the impacts you've seen your work make through the work you've done through that venue and through that avenue?
BOLT stands for Building Ongoing Legacies Together. My good friend Val Boston came up with that name. I just, I know it is to grow up not having a father, or have, or at some points in my life having a father, but not having a father. Having a father in the home with years. I grew up under verbal and physical abuse, so I know it's like to be angry, to be lost, to need direction. And I go back to a guy by the name of Jay Carter, who was a deacon in the church I was going to in Brooklyn, and a guy named Warren Johnson. They were tough love gentlemen, but grateful for their tutelage and then their care and concern just to be present in my life. So I've always decided, something I decided to do early on was to try to offer myself opportunity, because I think it's for men of color, it's our responsibility to mentor our children, to try to be surrogate fathers, be present, be aware. And so a lot of the young men I deal with in my mentoring program are single parent sons, don't have fathers. So you try to be an encouragement to the women, let them know that men in the community are there, we're present, we're working, we're giving space that we can, we're not a babysitting service, but we're there to give a balance of love and discipline. Get on them when they're not doing the normal things. I teach them life skills, basically, because a lot of boys know how to work a game system, but they don't know how to make up their beds. They don't know how to tie a tie. They don't know how to, basically, even hygiene, when to take a bath or clean themselves up, just basic normal life skills. You would be surprised what so many boys don't know or think they're not supposed to do because their mother's getting on them and they feel like, oh, well, they're just picking on me. They're bothering me, but it's really a parent trying to parent. And parenting is, parents don't always get a chance to parent. And so we're just giving an assist, enforcing the rules that the mother sets in the home, and just try to be good big brothers and love on these guys. Snatch them up when you need to. You gotta in the chest and get on them. But it's I'm not a miracle worker. I didn't go to college. I don't have a bunch of degrees. But I am aware and conscious of what it means to be young and angry and lost and need some direction. So I just try to do my best to give that. I have other brothers that come in and give lessons on areas that I know that I'm not skilled in, that they can teach them. And it's been I've had some parents that have been very grateful. I have sons who have come back later on to say they appreciate it. They didn't like it at first, but they appreciated the fact that I showed that I cared. And I think that's the most important part, that they know that you care.
I love that. Tilted, one of our good friends, Marie Lousy, she always says, you can't pay people to care. And that is something that is priceless. Like if you can't pay for it, it is priceless. And as a former single mother, all of them grown, I survived. I'm always touched, RL, when I see just the dedication that not just you, but the other brothers that come alongside you, because I know that the greatest impact for this is not just in the young man's life. When our sisters feel however they feel because of life situations that single parenting brings, and trying to figure out how can I have positive role models that's staying in the living room. That's all we're going to say for that right there. That's concerned with my child, and I don't have to worry about all of the rest of the things. Like, you lift a burden for the entire family. So, even the time that you're spending and knowing that these young men are able to go out in the world better than what they were before the program. So love the stories that you're able to share. And like you said, many of the mothers, we're like, oh my goodness, I don't understand, because we're not men. Can I say that? Like, it does really take a village. It takes a man to get another young man to understand, in a lot of instances, to say, listen, chill, your mama's not losing her entire mind, maybe just a little bit. But like you said, to reinforce the rules of the home, and that just kind of, I don't know, Tilted, I'm getting all the warm and fuzzies from that, because I know the impact of just hearing it from another voice, hearing it from a man's voice who looks like them, who may have shared some similar experience of them. But even you sharing your testimony, RL, of that tough love that you had to get, and the impact that it made for you. So I know for sure you are making impact in the lives of the young people, but like I mentioned, the entire family. And honestly, I love that it's, the building the legacy together, because that's the foundation for the young men to know their worth, to know their value and the worth. And then we could build on top of that. You can't build that if they, are fighting with no tools. So just giving a huge big up and gratitude to you and the crew that you work with that. And for folks who don't know, RL is in the North Carolina area, so in the Triad, Greensboro area. And, we'll get into more about how we can connect with the work, all of the different things that you're doing, RL. But I appreciate you sharing that. So, as Tilted mentioned, I know you've advocated for men's mental health and men's health overall, but can you talk a little bit about why that is important to you?
Well, I just think it should be important in general to care about your brothers. There's a lot of brothers out there struggling. I say it all the time. Women get a chance to be as vulnerable as they want. They can have the sister circles. They can go on Facebook and cry out and talk about their struggles and everything they're going through, and they can have a bad day. Men are never expected to have a bad day. Women, and that's not an insult to women, but women are considered, they're the heroes. They do it by themselves. They do so many things, and you put a man that says that, he's weak, or he's this new thing they call him, he's sassy. Women for years have asked our men, you've asked your men to be more in touch, to be more gentle and vulnerable, to be more open. And now in this era, this social media era, now that men are starting to do that, the trust is lacking, because the moment we show that, he's weak, he's not a real man, or he's sassy, and we don't, men aren't allowed that space to talk about their issues and problems. We hold everything in, and it's hard to trust. It's hard to believe that anybody's going to listen to us, and it's not easy. And not even talking about the basic racism that men go through on their jobs, or systemic racism, or police brutality, but just even in our communities, struggle being a father, to provide for your family, to try to be strong. We need sometimes to be able to admit we break down, that we go through, that we hurt, that we go through heartbreak, that our hearts get hurt too, that when it comes to a breakup, in every movie from Tyler Perry to whoever, when there's a breakup in a scene, they ask somebody, and the first thing they say is, well, what did you do? They always ask the man, what did you do? And it's like, wow, we automatically are the enemy, and we aren't your enemy, ladies. We are your balance. We're one half of you, of a whole community. And I went through depression following my divorce, going into my divorce a few years ago. And it was debilitating. It was frightening, panic attacks. And I'm grateful for the therapy and the therapist and the life coach that I still have. But there were times I felt like it was over for me, that I didn't have any hope, that I was in such lack. I think it's important for men to bond together, to cover each other. It's important for our children to love on us. And it's vital that our women love us and push us and hold us and tell us that we can make it, that we can do it, because it's just not an easy fix to say, because we are also we come from a past generation where men were told you can't cry, you can't show these emotions, you suck it up, man up. Women tell their teenage sons when the father leaves or he's gone, you're the man of the house. He's not the man of the house. That's a responsibility that he should not have. So there's so many ways of of opposition that come against us that we have to carry so many responsibilities that, you know, you see these memes. A real man is supposed to, what a real man should, and no one, you, it's comical how people look at men, particularly black men. And I just think it's important that men know it's okay to hurt. It's okay to go through. It's okay to be in a position you can't, don't stay there, but it's okay to feel like you're in a weak moment, or you just can't, you just feel like hurt. You feel like it's just not a good day. Today's not a good day. I don't think people understand the term life be life, and that when it rains it pours. There's so much that we're going through in this economy right now, and this bullying age we're in. There's so much that we're told that we have to ignore. And anytime you ask a man how he's feeling, he goes, nothing. Trust me, it's not nothing. There's a heck of a lot that he is carrying. It is a big burden. So I think there should be more love for our black men. There should be more support. There should be more, there should be more of a push to not the ones that, because we're even in relationships, and I'm sorry if I sound like I'm rambling. I'm just, even in relationships, a man should not feel like he has to carry the burdens of what happened in your past relationship. You know, let's build now, me and you. You know, it's so many walls that we have to fight through with our women, with our children, with our jobs, just with finances, everything. And sometimes it can be a lot. It can be an emotional load. So I think it's important to support our men, and for our men to really be able to learn to get together and just pull up and say, hey, I got you. You good? You know, you want to talk about it? I think men should have more circles. I said men should have more gatherings. Men should go, and men, I encourage men not just to go for physical health to see a physician, go for mental health. You need to really sit down and talk and share and open up, because there's just so much that we're expected to carry. Everyone is like an atlas, like we got a world on our shoulders, and it's a lot. And you know, it's necessary to push ourselves, because we're expected to. We got to do, you know, we got to be the leaders. We got to be the leaders. But leaders, like I just posted this yesterday. I said it takes they always say it takes a village to raise a child. But who's raising the villagers? You know what I'm saying? The village too, and the leaders in the village need loving, and they need support too.
I love that. I appreciate that. No, you weren't rambling at all. You were hitting so many points. I'm over here. I'm like, okay, listen. So listen, RL, you know, you might be in this moment my marriage counselor for a real quick minute, because you know I
Listen, he might be my dating coach.
That part. I married a whole black
I need
man.
some advice.
I married a whole black man, and I promise you, one of the things that did sustain us before, and I've made it very public. Everybody know, RL, you know Alfred, but it was like, I don't know if we equipped before, like in the dating season. Like I literally was like, I don't know if we equipped, because we don't know how to fight. Like we don't know how to disagree. So can we talk to somebody? And he got his and I got mine, and then we got one together. So it was important for me to like say, you know what? I've been single a long time. And even if I don't bring another person, I always tell TYLTED, I'm the entire problem. It's me, RL. I'm the problem. So how can I equip myself with the tools for when life is life, and you know, for when either he's having a bad day or I'm having a bad day, or to know how to respond appropriately. So I heard so much in what you were saying about even the response that we can have as sisters, that, you know, I always struggle with the fact that there's in my opinion, there are a lot of single women, there's a lot of single men, but sometimes we're our own problem, because the women are being taught one thing over here in the village, the men are being taught something else over there in the village, and sometimes, Lord have mercy, The information is not correct for the two people that's coming together. So I wonder, and share as much as you feel comfortable with, but you mentioned, you have a therapist and a life coach. What tools do you feel like you've gained from those partnerships with having those people in your life that kind of helps you in those moments when life is life?
Learning to listen. I don't think we listen to each other. We hear each other. There's a difference. Like, you guys hear me, you physically hear my voice, but if listening means you're responding to what I'm saying. So I don't know if we as couples listen to each other. Also, less is more. A lot of married people need to stop talking to their single friends about their married problems. They need to listen to each other, listen for the signs, and not listen for the negative things that's happening. Just listen to each other, listen to each other's needs. And I think for me, I'm learning to listen more, but I'm also learning to work on me. A lot of times we go into stuff and we're asking the person to heal you. It's unfair to ask someone to be your therapist, to ask your partner to be your priest, to be your, I just be my friend. Can you be my friend first? Because we don't go into relationships wanting friendship. We want into relationships someone to financially take care of us or just sexual gratification, but we're not asking for someone to be your friend. Just be my friend. But listen and be open to, because your friend is supposed to tell you when you do wrong. Listen to each other, which I know. Well, I'm not in a relationship now, but I know I'm learning to listen more to when I get certain criticisms when I talk to some of my friends about myself. But mainly, be present. Just because you can get caught up in work, kids, responsibilities like the arts, all the stuff like that, and your balance is off. You got to do more than your pH balance. You got to get your personal home. The pH balance should be also your personal home balance. What are you doing to keep things right? Even the simple things like just, you know what? I just, I know I cleaned up on Saturday, but let me maintain it through the week. So when my partner comes home, he or she, and this is male and female, they come and say, man, everything is just always together when I come home. I feel like I could come home to a home that I'm comfortable coming home to. And one thing I think that's very important, words matter. And one thing I told the young men, you should tell your mother thank you but don't wait to tell them after she does something for us, just for no reason. Just say the words. I don't think we do. Start waiting for anniversaries and birthdays and holidays to appreciate your partner. I think there should be things you should do just because. I'm an old fashioned person, so I don't understand why people don't do the just because in relationships anymore. I'm doing this just because I just felt like doing this for you. There's no reason. I'm not doing this because I want you to take me on a trip later on. And very, very important. When you do it, if you did something on them on Tuesday, let Tuesday, if this is Saturday, Tuesday is gone already. I think more, and please, ladies, this is not insulting, but trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Start burning your calendars and your file cabinets. Because the problem is you do something and you love to remind them. That's why I say people don't do just because anymore. Yeah, but I did this for you. Remember when I paid your bill? Remember when I did this for? Remember when I left work early? But I would rather you remind me of what a good man I am than what I forgot to do, because I think we're doing too. You need to burn these mental calendars. You need to that's why I say your personal home balances, your pH balance is way, way off because we're too busy in remembrance of what you did for them and not what you're doing for each other. And that's why there's such a disconnect. That's why so many in our communities, the marriages are failing because one, we're not balancing time with each other, and we're not balancing gratefulness anymore. So I would say that to the ladies out there, if you're listening, stop do it because you want to do it, not because you feel like, oh, if I do this, oh, I have to do it because he does. No, I want to do it. I love cooking for my man. Oh, I love taking a shower with my man. I love
I love going to support his stuff, or I love popping up his job and taking, you know what I'm saying? And I say that for the men as well, but I'm only saying this space because a lot of discussions I had with men is, or stuff I see is, well, he don't do this, but I'm always doing this, and I'm always, and I. Like with the kids, when you want to down him, you'll never do nothing for my son. But then when you want something from him, your son needs sneakers. Your school. I'm like, wow, the selfishness has to stop. Now, I'm not talking about men need to be more aware. Men need to be more passionate. There are a lot of things that a lot of men need to be. But I'm saying in the discussions I've had and a lot of stuff I've seen, especially on social media, a lot of stuff that people post, it's like, wow, have you ever considered just doing it just because you just felt like doing it? And I'm telling you, there will be a greater appreciation for it. That's why I even told the young men, tell your mother thank you. Just tell her, just tell her thank you, and it'll go a long way. And it'll go a long way. Just that appreciation, and because I don't know, are we actually appreciating each other, or because that's when the marriage becomes a contract, or it becomes just like a business relationship.
I love it.
It's like work. Well, I'm only doing this so I can get paid. I'm only coming in this week because I need the hours, I need the overtime. That's how people are treating their relationships. And then they're whining and complaining like people do about jobs. Your relationship should not be. Now, do you have to work in your relationship? Yeah, it takes work. Yes. But it's not supposed to be like work. And I think a lot of people are going into it with the wrong attitude. And everything is me. And it's not like us. Us. That's just used to be the thing on the wire when Stringer Bell and Avon Barksdale would finna talk, instead of saying later, they would go us, like us. And I think, and that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a me against the world. It's supposed to be a me against the world thing, like me and her and I, me and him, us together. And a lot of times we involve everybody else.
I agree with that.
We used to make subliminal comment, and then and then the trust is lost. The desire is lost, and not the sexual desire, just the desire just to even be around each other. Then it's longer to come home. She's got to go stay with her friend, go over her mother, or be with her friend. She's got to have a girls' night out. All of that, and you never really got to. And neither of you appreciate it, just like us.
My brother. You have.
And I'm saying some of the stuff that I didn't do as well when I was married. So I want to know ladies thinking.
But I appreciate
I'm talking
every
about
word. I appreciate every word that you have spoken, because nothing was off point. If you realize how many nuggets, like literally, and next we will have the offering. I promise you, I know, RL, I know. But literally, here's the reason, and Tilted and I surround ourselves, and sometimes it's on purpose, and I know it seems strange, but whether in the married time or in our singleness, we always keep a strong male voice in our ear. Because here's the deal. We will be more ratchet. Can I say that? We'll be more ratchet without these balanced conversations to hear straight from your heart. How do you see it? What are the things that we could come in? I love that pH balance. I'm seeing like home balance, because listen, us women talk about pH balance. That ain't what we talking about, okay? So being able to have, whether we call this the grown folks conversation, but this is definitely a mature conversations, and I promise you, it's the reason why every couple of months I'm like, "Where you at, bro? What we doing?" Because I see you, and I want to tell you that, RL, I see you, and not just what you're giving, but also what you sacrifice for even just sharing yourself. This was a lot. And even though it sounded like it's a joke, I got stuff that Tilted know I love homework. But I'm usually the one giving it. I got homework.
Well, you got a whole list of homework tonight from our brother RL, Sister Karen.
Yes,
Well,
I got
listen, RL, allow me to interject a little something here because I just been sitting here listening, taking notes. I promise you, brother, I was trying to form the question, but you actually answered it as I was thinking it because I really wanted to ask you to offer some advice to us women on how we can better love our Black kings because a lot of your conversation was leaning towards some of the thoughts I've had in doing my own personal self work as a divorced woman entering the dating scene, looking again to be in a long-term relationship that's healthy, um, in a way that requires me to let go some of my past habits in relationships. So what you shared tonight was a whole lot of confirmation for me personally that the self-work I've done between Jesus and therapy has actually been exceptionally beneficial because now I am absolutely in the practice of being present for my male friend in silence, not always offering what I think he should do, and offering what I know, and also being receptive to hearing him, even as he addresses some of the things about me that he, might need me to prune to, be a better fit of his rib, if that makes any sense. One thing you touched on was being present. Now I'm talking to you right now as a sister, like as if you're my brother, okay? Like we've been, known each other since babies and pacifiers. If you were to give me any specific advice on what being present for my man looks like, what do I do? Do I just sit there, be quiet, look pretty? How should I practice being present for my man on a daily basis?
The dates, just keep dating. Just because you're married don't mean you should stop dating. Communicate with him. What do you want to do this week? Or if he just wants to do something in terms of, well, I want to go to, well, my homeboy's having a cookout. Go to him, have a dish, so y'all could come with something together. Being present means supporting him, but listening. Being present means presently listening. Listen to, like, so that's why I said listen for the signs, or when he's struggling, or when he's going through stuff. Being present in the bedroom, like, to hold him, to be present in the kitchen, be present in the living room. Just be present with your communication. Be present with active listening. Be present with telling him how important he is. Develop a date and develop some fun routines that only you can do, or you can do some stuff, couple stuff. If you don't want a lot of people coming to your place, then do something where y'all can go out, and do things. But keep it fresh. Don't make it boring. If you want him to be the cover, that means you want him to keep working hard and to provide and to be the leader. If he's your covering, if he's an umbrella, you're supposed to take care of your umbrellas. How many times you've been to a job and they take the umbrella, just throw it down, throw it in the back of the car? That's what a lot of women are doing with their in marriages. Oh, well, he's working as long as he's paying the bills, this, that, and the third. You want him to do that, but you won't even take care of the umbrella. You know what I'm saying? Have you, this shirt would be nice. You know what? I just picked this shirt up. I thought you'd be nicer now. And I know you got to do something with your boys this weekend. Here's some, how many times we say, you know what? Here's some gas. Here's some extra. Here's something for gas because I know you got to go out this weekend. I know you had to pay this bill this week. How often are we present? Isn't just, no, it's not sitting there and it's not being subservient. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying being present, actively present. You know what I'm saying? If he's the umbrella has, you have the right to turn the umbrella. Make it. You have to take care of it. And guess what happens in the storm when it's blowing? You got to be able to hold it.
Yes.
When that wind and it's blowing, and what happens sometimes with the umbrella? It goes up, and then you got to pull it back down. So sometimes he may get out of. He may going through some stuff. You got to be able to pull him back down because you need him. How many women are really saying, "Baby, I need you. This family needs you. We need you to be our leader. We need you to lead us. We need you to go into battle. We got to go into battle together. We got to pray together. We got to talk together. We got to sit, Yes, okay, you don't like Sports Center. You can grab your book and sit next to him and say, "What you watching?" I'm just they doing a free agency tonight. Okay, you ain't got to ask him 1,000 questions because you don't know what's going on. Well, sometimes you just sat down in the room with him and just nestled up to him, and you know, because he's home. Like I had a conversation years ago with a friend said, "Well, he's always in the living room watching TV." I said, "Yeah, but he could be at the sports bar, never coming home all times of night." You know what I'm saying? The umbrella. Can you manage the umbrella to make sure it stays covering? What happens also with an umbrella? Those little things come out. And you got to put them right. The spokes come out. You got to be able to put them back in and not put them in the wrong way. In other words, you can't. When he makes a mistake, you can't tear him down. Yeah, you should be able to say, "Now you know that wasn't a good baby. You know you should have done. We should have saved the money for this." You're going to disagree, but learn to agree to disagree. Sometimes that's not going to come. He's going to do stuff you just may not like, and you just have to, you know what? Fine, but I didn't like that. I didn't think that was a good move, and leave it alone. And leave it alone. Then, like I said, that argument happened on Monday. Why are you bringing it up? That argument happened in March. Why is it November and you're still talking about something that happened in March? You can't get tomorrow back. It happened. It's gone. Both of you are going to make mistakes. But when you say present, you got to be actively communicating, actively loving on him, supporting him, tell him what you need, and actually pushing him to his greatness, to whatever level he needs to get to. Because sometimes he'll share stuff and it may not be a good business idea. He said, "Well, baby, maybe we should try this because you're good in this area. Let's try this and start this business. Or we only have this much money. Work together. Or let's save up. Let's wait a couple of more months. I know you want to do that. I got you." That is the most. Now you want to be present. The most powerful 3 words is not "I love you." The most powerful 3 words in this day and age: "I got you."
Woo, child, listen, okay.
Most people say, because it's like the church thing. When you hear somebody died, you know what, or somebody going through something, you know what, I'm gonna be praying for you. No, they not. That's just the thing you say because you don't know what to say. But when a person says, "I got you," brush, I'm stuck. Or, don't worry, I got you. Oh man, I can't, baby, I'm low this week, but I gotta, I gotta go. I gotta go.
I got you.
I got you means I'm going to make up for that lack. Can you make up for the lack? Stop expecting him to be Superman all the time, and you won't even try to take care of his cape. You won't make sure the cape is decent. You won't make sure that sometimes he want to be Clark Kent. He want to put on the glasses and look and just sit on the couch and go, you know what? You want some coffee? You want something to drink? You good? Sometimes he do need to go out. Let him go. All right, get home safe. You don't need to be texting him 30 times that night. If you don't give each other space, you will drive each other crazy to the point where you don't want to be in the same room with each other. Being present is also being present when he's not present. You know what I'm saying? When he's not there, that he knows I got something good to come home to because the kids are good, the house is good. You know what I'm saying? I come in and the conversation is good. She don't come in just talking about her day, the 80,000 things the endless things that happen on her job. I'm not, for any woman that's listening, I'm not knocking you, but you have to understand the responsibilities that we have. Sometimes the conversation has to come towards us a lot of times. It has to, because you don't know some of the things that we're always, like I said, we're never expected to lose. We're always supposed to win. And sometimes our shield gets broken, our sword gets cut in half, and we come home from battle wounded. You're supposed to treat the wounded. And if you don't treat the wounded, then we can't go out there and battle. And then we're not going to want to fight. Then we gave up. Then you're going to want to complain when you had the opportunity to bring healing, prayer. You know what I'm saying? You cover him just as much as he covers you.
All right now.
So when you say present, his mental health is sufficient. That you got to encourage him, make him feel like he's the greatest thing in the world. You got to. You're supposed to, because and that's where you can avoid the work wife. Because and I tell it to everybody, I don't care how strong your marriage is, anybody can get got. And if you don't do it, Shaniqua in billing department will do it.
Ooh.
If you don't do it, if you don't do it, Joseph in the accounting department will do it. And the next you know, they having lunch, and then because you haven't been paying, you want to be present, pay attention. Listen for the signs. Listen for whatever his needs are. And if you're not trying to fulfill those needs, I'm not saying your stuff is not important, but a lot of times a lot of women go into relationships. Me. We need you to take care of us. You need to cover us. In order for me to cover you, I need you to keep me healthy, mentally healthy. You got to make
Yes.
me feel like I want to run through a brick wall for you. In other words, I got you. Just like you got me, I got you.
Right.
Listen. You know I got the church finger up because you know my brother just opened the door. Because you know, Karen, you and I have been having a conversation off air that I'm so grateful that I have this king to engage in this question, because we are what we refer to, we're at an age where we refer to ourselves as queenagers. And our male counterparts, of course, in my mind, I'm referring to y'all as kingagers. And at this particular stage in life, we all run into situations physically that may challenge us. And more specifically, as a man, y'all run into some situations. And you know, for me to develop a form of tact, lately I've been referring to it as Mr. Ed. And this is in reference to intimacy in the bedroom. We're coming into different health issues that can impact our men when it comes to erectile function. And they're facing certain instances of erectile dysfunction. What advice could you give to a sister who was actually dealing with a man who's dealing with Mr. Ed, and how she could be supportive to him physically and emotionally?
3 words: patience, patience, patience. You got to be patient with him. Go with him to the appointment. Encourage him. Talk to him possibly about changing his diet, because it could be some things he could be eating as you get older, especially with high blood pressure and diabetes and all the other things that Black men deal with. Go for walks with him, you know, and continue just to and it may be and maybe you have to be more desirable. You gotta take the bonnet off. you gotta take the bonnet off. Just because you're in your 50s don't mean you still can't go to Victoria's Secret and get yourself spiced up to keep it spicy for your husband or your partner, or if you're you have a significant other. So I think you have to do those things. Conversation, patience, and just do what you can to spice him up, to get him in the mood. But like you have to work at it, and then you should go to a therapist or a life coach to work on you, because I'm sure it can be mentally exhausting, because you want to be gratified, you want him to be satisfied, and when it's not happening, that can be frustrating for you, and he may not understand your emotions and your moods, because the ED is almost our what's the thing that you ladies go through?
Menopause.
It's our
menopause.
For some men that's their menopause. So he has to deal with your mood swings and the heat and you not wanting to be touched and all that. That was a big enemy of mine, and that hurt a large part of my marriage. That's why I say I want y'all to think some of the stuff I was saying, things that I wasn't doing, I wasn't aware of. There was some things that I messed up within my marriage and that I should have been doing better. And so the communication has to be vital at that point. But it has to be, not you have to walk on eggshells, but you have to just be cautious what you say, because you don't want to damage his ego, you want to damage his feelings. The one thing about partnership or being in a relationship, you've got to be able to talk about everything, but it's how you talk about it, is when you talk about it, is what you actually say, because you can still push them away. They got to feel like they can be vulnerable and open and emotionally and spiritually and mentally naked in front of you. You got to be able to see them, okay, this is everything. Instead of this, what are you bringing to the table? Forget all this table stuff. This is what this is it. Right now, I'm here, and it's like, oh man, it's really rough for me right now. How can I help you? When was the last time we told her, how can I help make things better for you? You know what I'm saying? How can, because the moment you utter the words, I got you, you're going to have to keep them. People want to be kept. And when you say, I got you, you got to stay there. I don't care how hard it gets. So for anybody dealing with ED, I would say for you, get your own form of therapy, to give you the coping skills to learn how. Because maybe sometimes we're unaware how we talk to our mates, men and women, and we say some stuff, and that's why you end up with the work husband or the work wife, because they say things, and it's easy for them because they ain't got to go home with you, and you take you take things to a point where it's like, hey, I don't hear anything else, but you got to hear yourselves, hear yourself. You got to go in there with the attitude of, this affects both of us, but it's affecting that person because they can't satisfy me like he wants to. So I would say change the diet, offer to go to the appointment with him so y'all can sit down effectively. And if there has to be some type of medications, or like they got these things out called the Blue Chews, there's whatever you need to be able to, not just physically but mentally and emotionally, make him feel like, because listen, we all go through all types of body and physical change as you get older, and you're going to have to just accept that everybody's not going to look like everybody. Like Beyonce can have her babies, but she's got the finances to have the physical trainer to get her looking like, what I'm saying? You don't. So because you don't, you got to be up on your health, be up on his health. You got to eat better. You got to make sure that your sexual health stays healthy. That's why I say you should always continue to, don't you, I'm comfortable now. We've been wearing this long. I ain't got to wear nothing sexy. Why not? Why can't you do something like, hey, my mother's watching the kids tonight. If you got your certain age, I want, what I'm saying, this is us. I'm sorry, I got to say it. Stop doing the same routine. Do it in other rooms. You got to spice it up.
Listen.
Save your money and stop buying. Save your money and stop buying all this foolish stuff, and save your money, and y'all go away on a nice weekend. Just go. So I got some extra. Just go away, and it ain't got to be a island vacation. You just, hey, if you live in North Carolina, drive to Virginia and go to a hotel and stay in a nice hotel, and just maybe the environment needs to change. Maybe that can change his sexual desire, but always keep it looking sexy. What I'm saying? Stop getting your hair done for your friends and hanging out. Get your hair done, look nice for him. Wear something that he likes. Ask him, do you like this? Wear certain things. You have to be creative. It's up to the individual to make sure that the sexual health stays healthy, because it can be very. You can't fast food your marriage because you've been together, so you can't fast food it.
I like that.
Man, you gotta make time. I don't care how busy you are. I don't care if you got to schedule it. Well, Wednesday is the best night. You better make that, and I don't care how tired you are. You better get your rest, and don't yawn and all that. No, you then you better text him pictures. You better text him this your spouse. You better text him pictures. You better go ahead and text him messages. I'm gonna tear you up tonight. That's right. We grown. You better tell him, hey, you better be ready tonight because it's on. Yeah, tell him that.
Drink your water.
Don't do all that stuff, and then when I'm gonna be free on Thursday. Thursday night come. Oh, I had such a crazy day.
Can't renege on Thursday.
Take your nap and do
take a nap
and business. HYB, handle your business because he's your business. He's your business. You got to make sure your business always stays in tip-top shape. You don't want the business to fail. A lot of sexual business is going to bankruptcy because we don't take care of it. We don't take care of the parts we need to take care of. You got to do your part, do the work. You can't ask him to be healthy and doing stuff like that, and then you only just because you get your hair done, that's not enough. You're just spending the $250 a hair done. You say, you know what? I'm just gonna put in a nice bonnet, and this weekend we're gonna take some money and we're gonna go out and we're gonna go away this weekend because you take him away. Don't matter. You take him away for a weekend. Price him up. Don't just say he's got it. A man's got it. A man's got it. You go ahead and you take him out. You keep it. You keep him wanting you. Do certain things. Keep him wanting you. Well, I'm going to reveal this, and it's the only time I've ever done this. When I first got married, I would be in the den watching TV and stuff. The way the hallway was positioned, like I'm in the den, and then the hallway straight down to the bedroom. And then on the other side to my right would be the kitchen. And the kitchen light would be on. She would come in, she would walk out the bedroom, open the door, be in a negligee, go and hit the lights and go, all right, good night, and go into the room. And when she opened the door, there was no lights on in the bedroom. Oh, I wasn't in that den for long. I'm saying it was her subtle way of saying, I want some. Let's do this. You got it right like this. That's it.
Come hither.
Do this. If you can do that with your child, if there's a look that your child knows you give, how come you do this with your husband? How come you can have a certain look or a certain voice? How come you don't leave him voicemails or emails or just leave him little notes and stuff like that? Stop by the job. I brought you lunch. Just little things that keep him wanting you, to make him feel. So the sexual health and I'm not saying he's not supposed to do his part. You asked about the ladies. As far as the ladies, you got to do the work. You got to keep going. Stop retiring. How you going to win the championship and say, you know what, I'm going to retire? Nah. It says till death do us part. So to one of you, both of you expire in this lifetime, because we all having that appointment. Until that's over, until you cannot physically moisture each other up, I will say, you better put that work in. You better put that work in. If you can lift your leg up a little, then there's still work to do.
They got the lifts now that can help you out.
You better, try some things that he may like.
Listen, I'm gonna jump in here and just say, and if you need some sensual ideas, RL's got some love notes that help the grown and sexy. If you thinking about some ideas or how to get the words and the mood in the right space. So I love that you shared this, RL. I promise you, this has been a masterclass. We came here for a conversation, and we are leaving with so much more than we could even think about. So, TYLTED, I don't know if you had another question, while I queue up what's about to come up, because we're going to share another piece of work from our brother. So we're going to share something from RL. And I know we also have a music break, because it can't be a night unless I put my DJ hat on. That's all I'm saying. So.
Listen, I don't have any other questions for our brother RL, but I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you for being so transparent with every single one of your answers to every single questions that was presented to you on this evening. I believe you might have even saved a marriage or two, a relationship or two on this evening with the information that you shared that come hither. That I got a notebook on my desk. Write that down. Huh?
Turn off the lights. That's what I heard.
Turn off the lights. And light a candle. Listen, thank you so much for sharing your insight. Clearly, you are the Renaissance man that you don't necessarily acknowledge yourself to be. So thank you, RL, for everything that you shared on this evening. I'm a fan now. All right. So I'm a fan. You officially tried tonight, brother. I look forward to hosting you again in the future, because that's what we do. We like to rewind that back. Every now and again, something might be going on in the world. And I might need to call and tag you in on the conversation. And I hope you can hang out with us for the remainder of tonight's broadcast, because I'm about to bring it, because, we have watched this debate the other night. But I'm going to go ahead and toss the mic to DJ KASH at this moment. We are Unhinged Live, and we are about to move into another musical break. Yes, we getting ready to bounce. We bouncing tonight. Is that right, Karen? We are bouncing tonight. Of course, you all know we celebrate our brothers from our Let's Talk Gospel family, Mental Impact Entertainment family. Bernie got a banger on his hands, don't he, Karen?
Listen, I'm back. I I love the music. I love the vibe. Shout out to our brothers from Mental Impact Radio. I got the chance to surprise Brother Birdie. He released this single last Sunday. We were super excited. I may not be an official stalker, but I was like, when he dropping it? And I'm so glad that I get to have this on my playlist. Y'all know we support Christian hip hop over here because it's a good message. And I promise you, all that's within it, I'm just going to play it. And right after, we're going to have another piece from our special guest, RL, because we're going to keep this party rolling. But I'm super excited. So, put my DJ hat on. Here we go with Bounce.
Make that beat slap, Fresh.
Fresh make the beat slap. And the track so I can speak facts. Opposition pushing up the back. You ain't talking about the gospel, you can keep that. Believe that. Hard is what the streets at. Over beats to his pieces where I preach at. A million souls, I'm trying to reach that. I grab the microphone and then I react. Never sold my soul's intact. Trying to change your brain, mental impact. Now I know this world say big whack. The devil is a lie, dude, been capped. I let my light shine, the world being black. Taking back the music, dude, getting jacked. Hooked on the Lord, my spirit on crack. Gotta move forward, ain't no turning back. Microphone check, talking one tip. You know how we do when we come through. I represent the Father and the Son too. Roll with the Holy Ghost, what you gonna do? You ain't rocking with God, then you gotta. You ain't rolling with the Lord, then you gotta. On demon time, then you gotta. You ain't a friend of mine, so you gotta. Sometimes I ask myself, what are people doing? What God do they serve and who are they pursuing? Instead of righteousness, they chose the path to ruin. You wanna see the Father, here's the way to him. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. We couldn't pay the debt, he had to pay the price. Gave his life a sacrifice just to make it right. The burden was heavy, he couldn't take it light. The battle's not ours, he had to take the fight. Showed up in the scene, demons were taking flight. Don't believe in the Father, then you can take a hike. Prayer changes things, what you praying like? If it gave a mic to help save a life. Telling non-believers about the way of Christ. His mercy and grace will always suffice. Represent the winning team all day and night. Microphone check, talking one tip. You know how we do when we come through. I represent the Father and the Son too. Roll with the Holy Ghost, what you gonna do? You ain't rocking with God, then you gotta. You ain't rolling with the Lord, then you gotta. On demon time, then you gotta. You ain't a friend of mine, so you gotta. Microphone check, talking one tip. You know how we do when we come through. I represent the Father and the Son too. Roll with the Holy Ghost, what you gonna do? You ain't rocking with God, then you gotta. You ain't rolling with the Lord, then you gotta. On demon time, then you gotta. You ain't a friend of mine, so you gotta.
Right.
I'm just grooving.
Listen, I done told you it's a banger. Listen, right after this, we are keeping the energy going. That's right. Another piece from our special guest, RL. I get to do double duty tonight. Little different type of DJ, but y'all know I love it nonetheless. This piece is called Victorious.
Said Scope Vision, baby.
Yeah. RL. Gifted one, you heard? Yeah. Welcome to her war room. Songbird, Pain, and B minor. Fearless. Down to her last tune, chasing a tribulation, but her pace more turtle than Jessica Rabbit. She's not running, standing her ground, bend but don't break. Praise be her weapon of choice, chanted midnight hour war cry. Down, Babylon, go down. Anointed hummingbird vocal cords, eyes on the sparrow. 5 foot high and rising, marching her way through the trenches. Not your ordinary soldier, clapping back at tragedy, devoid of happily ever afters, but never a victim. Not hiding in the rafters, garments of transparency, remodeling her stumbling blocks. Do not mourn for her. Do not shed one tear. Pity is not on the menu. Buzzards cannot feast. There is no yellow brick road. You can't tap her shoes together and whiz her way to freedom. Home is where the heart is, and her heart is in worship. Just pass the mic and get out of the way. Back against the wall, how she prefers to battle. Daring you to counter out. Every hymn she sings, her coping mechanism. Building up her self-esteem. Dreaming her impossible dreams. Eyes on the holy prize. You can't drown her. Catch her on the deep end, navigating purpose. Singing in the rain, drenched in submission. Submitting to this journey, backstroking in victory. Beauty for ashes in every verse. Keeping her sanity away from ranting. This kind of DNA don't dance with any devil. She's a special kind of cherubim, loving and appreciating her own reflection, down in her sanctified soul. There are no participation trophies for survival. This is her life. Wonderful stage presence, winning at all costs.
Listen, powerful. We got to clap it up for that one there. Definitely. Woo, I feel like we need the finger snaps too, RL. Powerful.
Yes. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We are Unhinged Live. I'm your host, Nikita Tilted Halo Hansford, sitting alongside my very good girlfriend, Karen Sims Harrell of Twisted Threads LLC, and we've got our brother RL hanging out with us on tonight. You just heard another one of his glorious pieces titled Victorious. And before we move on into our next segment, I got to ask you, RL, what was your inspiration for that piece, Victorious?
It was inspired by someone I know that was a singer, just an encouragement piece of someone that's a fighter and doesn't allow any things to get in her way, so it was just my way of doing a tribute to a friend. They were, I have inspiration comes from many forms for me, so this was just someone I had worked with, an artist, and I just wanted to do a dedication piece and end up recording it. So
good stuff.
Absolutely great stuff. So, look, this Karen, this right here, you heard me mention that old debate debacle, yes, that we had witnessed as a nation on the other night. So let's get into it. Tonight's what's really going on with the twist. It's a little bit of a what's really going on view from the petty pew, because I feel a little bit
Lord. Okay, here we go.
In my shanana. So I got my church fan with me, because those of you who know that I have unplugged from the matrix more often than not in the last few months. I've intentionally not turned on the American news broadcasts on a daily basis, because I recalled what it did for me, what it did to me emotionally during the pandemic shutdown. So it was a split moment decision for me to decide to go ahead and turn on the debate on Thursday night. Since, I am a civil servant by trade. I also volunteer in a county capacity, trying to make sure that I become the change I say I want to see. But we saw this here debate, and there was so much that was talked about, and there was a whole lot of mud slung. But y'all already know, because Juneteenth had just passed, and I'm thriving in all of my blackity blackness
Come
these
on,
days.
blackity black.
One thing that really stuck out to me was the conversation they were having about the Blacks and the employment situation here in this country. You know, my first thought was, of course, with this two-party political system that we are just propagating. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. My first thought, y'all might have seen, I wrote it down. Both these jokers keep referring to the Blacks as if we are still an appendage to this nation, as if it's not our blood, sweat, and tears that actually help raise this thing up. So I want to talk to y'all and get your feelings. I want to know what's coming to mind when y'all hear the term Black jobs coming from these two political juggernauts. Okay, what comes to mind? And I'm going to yield the floor to our guest first. Black jobs, what does that mean to you, brother?
I don't know. The whole thing was confusing. I wouldn't call them juggernauts. I think they're too old. Both of them are too old to be in office. I mean, can we get somebody in our 40s to help run our country? I don't. The whole thing was confusing. It was two old, grumpy old men accusing each other's presidency of being the worst in American history. They both whiffed on abortion. They both whiffed on. Well, Orange whiffed totally. He struck out trying to discuss. Supposedly discussing January 6th, which was a debacle in itself. I don't know. We're only treated like a sidebar. When I don't really have the words. It's just I don't know if there's a way that it was almost like you people. That's what it came off as when it came to unemployment or. I don't have the words. It was I still haven't gotten back the last 2 hours of my life from that night.
That part.
I don't even want to watch the whole thing.
That part.
Right?
I'm gonna admit, so I got about an hour and a few minutes in. I got about a little bit over an hour in, and I agree with you, because I'm like, do I have a black job? Certain days I know what he means, because it feels like a black job with the way they want me to do it versus Sally in accounting and Joe in bookkeeping. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say on that. However, it gave me the feel of, you know how we see those movies with the plantation, but Mamie is the good Negro. That's how I felt with we made black jobs. So go back to the Django or all them other ones before, Jamie came through and shot everybody up. We the good Negroes in that particular case. But can I just say that the entire time I'm just sitting here like, Lord, if you coming, we good right now. Like, you go ahead and crack the sky. If this the time for you to come, you want it, because I agree with you, RL. If we could get somebody 50, 40, 50, 60, okay? Somebody who cannot collect Social Security. How about that? I'm not an age discriminatory type person. Y'all know I support DEI in all things. However, Lord have mercy. Like, there is no good choice in this particular race right now. So how do we get a good choice where we feel like most of us are parents, whether you're at the grandparent stage or not, we're looking to build a better America for our children. At least that's the thought in our head. What we building? Wheelchair ramps? And I'm sorry. Jesus, come back. We ready. I'm ready. We will do who? I want us all to go at the same time, though. I don't want no, one here, one there. But it just was like, Lord, I know you ain't gonna let us do this. I know you're not gonna let us do this. And how come Kamala ain't like, come on, girl?
They got the photo ops posted up of Sister Kamala with hot sauce bottles in her hand, being posted all over the internet. As if that's not already a huge slap in the face to each and every one of us. The way this election is basically replaying the tricks of the past is absolutely mind-boggling. It's a mass insult to the intelligence of the community. That's the way I see it. I'm tired. My soul is weary. Because yes, I had to listen closely to make sure I could understand exactly what it was being said. Yes, RL, I feel just like you. It was confusing. And it was a whole lot of times I just sat there and said, huh? Say what now? I didn't understand. Because they were both speaking in such a way. It was almost as if they were just like sound bites,
right,
put together to try and deter from even the answers to certain questions. I'm like, bruh, just answer the question. They ain't ask you all that.
That's all.
Just answer the question that was presented to you. I'm fearful for my grandchildren. I'm fearful for those in this current generation. And I'm with you when you say, you know, can we get somebody who can't collect Social Security to run for this office? Don't nobody in Congress that's sitting in their jaw jacket want to actually run this country? Is that what we're dealing with right now? Is that what we're dealing with right now? Yeah, so I think this is high time for us to really focus in on regathering the community. As it was spoken earlier in tonight's conversation, we need to get back to upholding one another, uplifting one another, supporting one another on some different levels where it hasn't been the norm. We've seen it done in different cultures where they've crowdfunded to make sure that everybody has what they need as it pertains to the essentials of life, food, shelter, and water. We need to band together, brothers and sisters, because baby, if this debate was a sign of things to come, Molly, you in danger, girl. That's all I have to say about that. We are Unhinged Live, and I'm looking at the clock, and the time is swiftly coming to an end. I would be remiss to allow this show to end without allowing our very own in-house certified master life coach to bless us with an uplifting word of encouragement with her reflection of purpose. Coach KASH, take it away.
Awesome. Y'all already know we come in here. As always, we want to give you a title. And today we talked a lot about a lot of things, but I want to remind us, and today's title is Building Community. I want to remind you, build community around you. You know, we talked about mental health, sexual health, mentoring, how we can give back to building our communities in so many different ways. And we got different examples on how we could support each other. But here's the thing, as we see so many different things around the world, we want to be reminded that it is our connection that makes us very, very magical, that makes us the powerful people that we are. Yeah, you can do something by yourself and be amazing, but what do we say about team? Together, everyone achieves more. Make sure that you are checking in with your squad. Check on your squad. See, is everybody hydrated? Is everybody on their build-up game? And then when you see the lack, figure out how you can build folks up. Understand that many of us are taking on new ventures that might be scary for somebody if they're thinking that they have to go it alone. But if you've got a powerful squad, make sure you are pouring into them to remind them of the gifts, to remind them to nourish their gifts, to remind them. So we become the water as God is planting certain things in their life. But a lot of times we see things differently. My squad can tell me, Karen, you're going to do this and you're going to do it worldwide. And I'm sitting here like, I don't know what they see. I don't know where it is, but you have to believe in yourself. So make sure you take the time, nourish your gift. Support the building of your own community. Don't be a log on the wall just waiting for something to happen. Why? Because you are the change the world is waiting for. If you need more support, listen, head on over there at Twisted Threads YouTube, and we got a whole series on The World is Waiting for You. So we want to remind you, build your community, make sure you're nourishing your gifts, but make sure the people around you are able to be supported by you. Why? Because if you're always a taker and a grabber, we're going to remember you as the stick-up kid. That part. Don't nobody want to be remembered as the stick-up kid. So ensure that you're giving something back to at least the people closest to you, and then reach out a little bit further. Tilted, that's your reflections of purpose. Turning it over to you.
Thank you so much, Karen, for those delicious nuggets that you just shared with one of us. You know, I've long been a believer in the village mentality when it comes to area support in, you know, each and every one of our lives. So look, we are actually at the end of tonight's show. I would like to take this opportunity again to say thank you, RL, for hanging out with us on tonight. Before we go, can you share with our listeners how they can connect with you if they want to book you on their podcast, perhaps host you for an in-person speaking engagement? How can they connect with you?
You can reach me at Ronald Lavender Jr. That is my Facebook page, Ronald Lavender Jr. You can reach me on Instagram, Gifted Poet. That is my Instagram. I have a YouTube page that is called Love Notes. A lot of spoken word poetry visuals like Victorious, celebrating Black love. It's RL''S, RL's Love Notes. You can look that up. And you can reach me if you want to do any booking. bkgifted@yahoo.com. You can reach me there. bkgifted@yahoo.com. That's how you can reach me.
All right. Thank you so much. And, you know, I got to give it to you, my Just Be outro. And, of course, you know, I got to put a little twist to it tonight. Tonight, I want to, of course, again, encourage you all to just be. But tonight, I'm just going to encourage you to just believe. Just believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams. Believe in the goals and the visions you set for yourselves. Because, baby, I'm telling you, once you water those things with a little bit of consistency, they will absolutely come to pass. So as you just believe that as you dream it, you can achieve it. And you can just be anything you desire. This is Unhinged Live. Tilted Halo. Twisted Threads. RL, the gifted one. It's a wrap, y'all. We out. Until next time.